what is the immune system? The immune system is one of the most complex systems in our body, and it certainly isn't just one system. It's actually an integration of systems. One of the key integrations is what I term the neuroendocrine system. And when we're talking about immunity, one of the things we want to be aware of is that the immune system functions by, first of all, an external stimulation. It's, for example, a pathogen might enter our body, we might sneeze, and the body is trying to expel that pathogen, and with that comes a whole heap of mucus, and the mucus covers our nasal passages as part of the protection. Not to mention that a lot of that mucus also contains antibodies and elements to actually fight any sort of pathogen that might enter our body. That's including viruses and bacteria. So what we think about the immune system, it's actually about how our body is responding. And like any ecosystem, we have a small ecosystem within our body. We have probably the most well known is our gut flora. So there's a lot of discussion about that. Let's keep that diverse. Let's keep that system actually working as it should. What's really interesting about the microbiota is that there's a little, and it was described to me in this way, I find it quite a cute little analogy, where before anything happens in the body is informed on what to do by actually what goes into our mouth. So if we're ingesting food, there is a little periscope of a dendrite, which is a nerve cell, pops up through the gut wall, and like a little periscope, reads the environment. So if it's reading the environment, it's informing the rest of the body on how to respond. So if what's being entered into the body is, for example, not so great for the system, so it could be foods that are inflammatory causing, and say, for example, we use sugar. So that little dendrite informs the entire immune system to be ready to be on guard, and that creates systemic inflammation. The same can be said for good foods. So if we're taking, for example, foods high in vitamin C like blueberries, oranges, rosehip tea, those sorts of good foods, that same information is then changed immediately into something that is responding in a much better way. So the body can be, first of all, be prepared to receive the nutrients that it's going to receive, and also be on alert for anything that might not necessarily be helpful. So you can see how the body works in terms of responsiveness as opposed to always having to be on the attack. How responsive is our system? Well, we can bypass some of these mechanisms. So we've already talked about what we're breathing. So we've talked about that's one response the body's taking. What we're eating, that's another response. Is it logical to assume that something that's injected into us is going to give us the same response? I don't know. I think the science is out on that, and I think that you'll find that there are a lot of people that might think that having a vaccine gives them protection. It's not always the case, and I certainly would be thinking more along the lines of boosting the immune system through appropriate foods, getting plenty of rest, getting sunshine and plenty of fresh air as one of your best immune boosting ways to go about dealing with this season.